Hey guys, welcome to Nancy's. It's been a long time since I've just answered a few reader questions in a video blog, and that's what I'm going to do, and trying to make this, I always say that, but kind of short this month. The biggest question that I'm getting right now, or the most questions I'm getting, which is not unusual, are about Alex and Cassidy, and they're about a couple different things. I'm hoping that tomorrow I will be able to make live or reveal, or certainly by the end of the weekend, the new Alex and Cassidy website that I've been working on. And there's a few reasons why there's a new Alex and Cassidy website coming out right now. So it seemed like a good time to answer a few of these questions, because most of the questions, not all, but most of them that I get steadily are about Alex and Cassidy. Some of them, those of you who follow the Alex and Cassidy page, will see readers post to me right on the page. Some I get in personal messages, some I get in comments on things that I post, particularly on the Alex and Cassidy page. Some I get in email. Some I even get from friends here. So I will try to answer a few of them right now for you. The biggest question right now from people is, when is Conspiracy going to be out? Conspiracy is the 4th book in the Alex and Cassidy series, and it is the last or the final book in this part of this series. Originally, I had hoped that it would be out in May. Today is April 9th. There is no way that Conspiracy will be out in May. Absolutely not. The earliest that it would be out would be the end of June. And to be quite honest with you, I think it probably will be July. And I know there are people who are anxious to read it. And I know nobody's meaning to be pushing about it, and that's not. People just want to read it, and I'm flattered by that. You know, Alex and Cassidy it's a series that means a great deal to me for a lot of reasons. It's the series that, they're the characters that brought me to a point in my life, and that have brought me to the point in my life to be able to do what I've always wanted to do in my life. And they've grown immensely since Intersection. I think each book, they've grown as characters. I've grown as a writer. And I've grown as a person through writing it. I've learned a lot professionally. I've learned a lot about myself personally. And it means a lot to me. And this book means a lot to me. There's a lot in this book. There's a lot of characters in this book, both characters that you've known and characters that are referenced from the past that you'll see later in the collaborative. There's more violence in this book than in any of the other books. And that is something that I feel a great deal of gravity when I write. So I'm very cautious about how I write it. Sorry, that's my Jack Russell. And so I'm taking my time with it. And I want it to be the book I want it to be, and that I feel good about before I put it out. So I won't put it out before that. And I will take whatever time I need to take to have it be what I really want it to be. And that will delay the other books that I have slated. And that's, you know, so far I've done pretty good at staying on that pad. But I've had a lot going on, a lot of other things going on. And so I'm a little behind where I had hoped to be with Conspiracy. And that's the fact. When I know something more, I'll let you know. On that note, one of the things that has come up is, where will Alex and Cassidy go after Conspiracy, as far as the book series? The answer to that is, I have 2 other books planned that are technically part of the series. One is called The Swan and the Sparrow, which Alex and Cassidy are not a part of. It is the backstory of Claire Brackett and Ileana Barros. And it sort of follows their friendship really from school up until the beginning of Intersection. So you probably will see Alex in it, but you will not see Cassidy in it. So it's, and I don't even know that. Right now in my brain, I think you will at the very end. But that is planned sometime for fall. It will not be as intricate, actually, of a book for me to write, because it's not really about conspiracies and things. It's about them in their relationship and who they are. And it will definitely give you some insight into Claire People love Claire Brackett. It will definitely give you some insight into her. And that, again, that's called The Swan and the Sparrow, which are their code names. And the other book that I have planned, and I've always had planned in the back of my mind, is a book called The Collaborative, which is about that. It's about the collaborative. It's the backstory to this conspiracy that Alex and Cassidy find themselves in. And it really is a story of their really, not even their parents, it's the generation before that, the grandparents, and how it moved into Alex's father and Collier and all these characters that you've met, and how it evolved into what they've confronted. What's changed about that book is I've decided to write it, and as I have a good deal of it outlined of what I plan, it will be Alex and Cassidy telling it to their children when their children are a little older. So you will peer into Alex and Cassidy's life down the line when Dylan is quite a bit older, Mackenzie is quite a bit older, and whoever else might come along in their lives. And you will see characters that you know as well in there that play in. And that's what I will tell you. But it really is them telling the story, so it'll be a little different. Beyond that, for Alex and Cassidy, for books, I don't have anything planned. That is where I'm at. The other question that's come up, and that leads into what's up with Alex and Cassidy, is I've made some comments and I put some things out. Are Alex and Cassidy really coming to film? Well, as the precursor of the new website coming out, the unequivocal answer to that is yes, they are. Developing a project for film and what it will look like, and what I will tell you is in what manner it will be, I don't know. Right now, it appears it will be episodic. How long the episodes will be and how many for the first season, we'll say, I don't know yet. There's a lot of factors involved in that. But yes, it is happening. And there will be information on the website about how readers can help fund the project. Producing quality film is not an inexpensive venture, particularly not if you are using quality cameras and quality sets and quality actors. So there's that, and that's a consideration. The other thing is that I am still writing it, and that's part of what has put me a little behind with Conspiracy. It's something I've always wanted to do. The opportunity to begin pursuing it sort of fell into my lap in a way. I can't really say who I've been talking to because I don't have a formal arrangement with anybody at this point. What I will say is that when I was in California, some things happened and put me in touch with some people who, that's what they do. They produce film projects, and that began some discussions, some initial discussions. I got home and very unexpectedly was approached by someone who happens to be a reader and works in the industry and knows some other people in the industry, and was approached by another company. And so that was completely and totally out of the blue for me. And so some conversations and emails and some actual phone conversations and things have occurred with different people. Through that, I have pretty much made my decision about who I want to work with for the project. And it just am still in developing it, and developing it with some guidance from them. And then looking at what the budget is and what gets developed, how that will turn out. So I can't give you a time frame, I can't give you any of that, and I can't give you any more information than that. It wouldn't be right for me to do that until we have a formal agreement and we know what we're doing. But I'm 95% sure that the people that I want to work with are the people who will do, who ultimately will take on the production value of the project. And I'm pretty comfortable with that. So, so that's, yes, it's really going to happen. I can't tell you when it's going to happen or exactly what it's going to look like, but it is going to happen. And, I owe that to the readers. I really do. A lot of people have expressed that they want to see it happen. It's something I've always wanted to do. How involved I'll be in the actual process of production, I don't know, but the people that I'm talking to are they're experienced, and they're good people, and they like to do quality work, and they love what they do. So I think I know that it will not just be. I know that I'll have a say in what happens with the project. That's what I can tell you. The other question has been, there's been some questions about me going out from some people doing personal appearances at some of the lesbian conferences, in particular GCLS in New Orleans. I've said this before publicly, I'll say it again, I am not going to New Orleans. At this point, I do not have any plans to attend Women's Week in Provincetown. It is close to me. That could change. That's in October. I will be, as of now, Melissa and I have plans that I will be at the Left Coast Lesbian Conference in Palm Springs, California in September. And that's the big sort of author trip that I had planned after having done XenaCon in February. And that was a big trip for us. We had the table for the whole weekend there, and there was cost obviously involved in that. We did very well. I'm very pleased with how that went on every level, professionally. But we extended our trip and spent time out there to see friends. And so right now with the books that I have going, and with developing Intersection in particular, sort of as season 1, which is a little different, but breaking that down, in looking towards that and how that's going to be done. The people that I believe I probably will be working with on that are on the West Coast, and so there's, I have to think about all of that right now, and it really isn't a secret to anyone who knows me that I've always wanted to do film or television. Whether that ends up being a web delivery series streaming, or whether it ends up something that we take and try to pitch to a Netflix or Hulu, which is also streaming but a little different, or what we do with it, or I do with it once I have it. I don't know, but that it doesn't matter because it's what I've always wanted to do, and it's going to happen, and that's where I'm at. So those are sort of the answers to the big questions that people have had as we go into spring, and I do have a couple of other projects burning that I am working with, and they're also important to me. So that's what's happening. I would just say at the end of this, thank you to everybody who has supported me from the beginning